So hello everyone, here's Gianni, your favorite Polish mad lad, and today we are doing the RPG. I know you can see this, but you know it's the RPG. You can see that you can shot with it. It goes straight where you need to go, where it needs to go, and yeah, it's pretty much everything that I want to show you with the RPG. And in this episode we will show you how to make a sniper rifle that you can scope with it. UI showed over, and you can simply shoot where you aim. And you can see that here you will have a little problem that because if you don't shoot simply with the scope, you will not shoot at the right direction. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Thank you for attention and have a good episode. So let's start this video by making the new script for the rocket launcher. So let's create the launcher weapon script that will help us make any launcher that we want. So grenade launcher or rocket launcher. Here we gonna make a rocket launcher. So only library that we will need: Unity engine. In here we want the weapon to be inside, and the only variable that we will need now, because we are a big boy, we will need only the rocket, because all of it we have it here in the protected state. So yeah, so in here we want two functions. So first function is the fire override function inside. So we do everything that we do in the normal weapon function. In exception, here we don't raycast. We will spawn an object that we will initiate inside the script that we will have created later, which is named rocket, and it will have its own variable and etc. And of course, in the future we will have the fire effect to be called. Because of course we want to make some muzzle flash and etc, but we don't want the original script thing that will spawn trails. So yeah, let's start the rocket script. So let's create a new script that will name rocket in here, and let's go. The rocket script. So inside we will want the following libraries, for instance. Then we will want the entity behavior iPhysics state, and we will want the following variables. So I will explain it here. So let's start by assigning the network rigid body in the awake function. Next, what we want is the start function that will help us know when we are initiated, because we know that attached is called at the first frame of the object. And yeah, so this is why we initiate it at the second frame and etc. So you know. And now we have the following. So in the attach we will have simply the velocity assigned based on the forward of the object, and multiplied by the force that we have in this object here. And we will state a wait for explosion function, which will help us simply handle multiple objects on the network. So this way we don't spawn for infinite time rockets. And of course we will have our init player init function that will simply assign the player motor to our rocket. So now we will need the little coroutine that I called before, which is wait for explosion, that will be waiting the number of seconds that we indicate in this variable lifetime, and then we will explode it. Next we will have the behavior of our missiles. So it's already managed by its own network rigid body, but we want in addition here to have the rotation based on the move velocity that is changed based on gravity, scale, and etc. So this way we are sure that the simulation is correctly done. And now what we want is simply to know when it's exploding, and this is pretty simple. If we are the owner, and unless we are initiated and we are a player motor, we won't explode. We won't explode if we are not initiated and we are colliding with a player motor, of course, and we will in the other case. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Basically, if we collide with something, we will explode. So now what we need is pretty simple. We need the function explode in here. So the function explode is pretty simple. We'll simply stop the coroutine live because we don't want any null references. And here we gonna do a simple collider overlap sphere. That will simply catch every object that have a collider around us, and of course in the range that we have determined in the upper section. So yeah, pretty much it. Here we're gonna check simply for each collider if we have a player motor, and if it's the case, we will simply subtract life based on the damage that we have on the upper register version. And of course, if we explode, we want to destroy the object. And to finish it, we want a little function that will help show that we have exploded something. So we'll have a detach in which we will have simply the following. We will instantiate an explosion that is simply referenced in the upper version of all of this. So let's start by making the rocket prefab. Let's see here in our scene. So in order to make the rocket prefab, let's start here by positioning it at the 0, 0, 0, and let's drop in here a little asset of our polygonal weapons, in which we will have the ammunition rocket like so. And let's drop it like so. Okay, very good. So now what do we need on this rocket? It's pretty simple. Here at first we will need a rigid body, so like so. That will be a continuous detection like so, and we will need a network rigid body like so, and of course a bolt entity with the I physics state in it. This is pretty much it for that part. Now we need a rocket, and we know that we need to collide with things, so we need a capsule collider like so. Let's adjust the capsule collider on the z-axis, and let's make it 2.5. Yeah, 2.5, very good. So yeah, pretty much it's what we need here. Now what we need in the rocket, we need an explosion. So let's go to our fire explosion effects. Let's check if we have something. Yeah, we have a small explosion. If we position it at the center here, let's see. Yeah, pretty good. So let's unpack it in order to make a new prefab if we need to change it and etc, you know. Pretty much it. So yeah, I really like it. Decoil destroyer here. Let's make this one, let's see. Yeah, 1 second, 0.5. It's pretty good timing, I think. Yeah, very good timing. So yeah, let's simply drop this one in the effect folder as followed in here, and let's simply assign the explosion in the explosion thing. So in weapons, let's drop simply here maybe a new folder in which we'll name special, yeah, special, because why not? Why not like this? So let's drop the rocket inside, and I'm pretty happy with that. So let's create now the RPG and its drop. I will do it in the time lapse very quickly. So yeah, we are pretty much done. Now what we need is to create a new weapon stat ID. I will add all of them because at the end of the episode we want a shit ton of them, I will say. Okay, very good. So this is pretty much all weapons that we need. Let's recompile everything, and now let's get to the weapons in here, and let's simply add a equipment weapon in here. Let's name this one RPG, like so. Very good. Okay, very good, very good. And now let's name it rocket launcher, like so. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's now have all of this in here, and yeah, I think we need only to assign the drop in here and to assign the RPG thing to the RPG, like so. Okay, now I'm pretty happy with all I have. We can go to the classes in our project, so in the prefab classes, and we can assign in here the new weapon that we have. So it's the RPG, whatever we want, and let's make it happen. So we spawn with it. Simply let's recompile our project because we have added assets and everything, so this way we are sure everything works correctly, and we can disable the RPG thing because as other weapons they are all deactivated at the first place. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with all I have now. Okay, so let's compile and see what is it in the game. So you can see as soon as we spawn that we have our little weapon and we can shoot with it, and you can see that we can work though on the weapon position, you know, and I'm pretty sure it's good because the weapon rotates correctly based on its velocity. So yeah, if you see here, it goes on, yeah, on the ground. So yeah, okay, so now our RPG is done. Let's continue by making our sniper rifle. Yay, I know, pretty sexy, you know. So yeah, what will we need for the sniper rifle? At first, what we will need is to have a precision and a scope sensitivity and everything in our weapon stat. So let's go to the weapon stat in here. Let's see. So In here, what we want is to add the following variables, can, scope, and etc. And in here, what we have is pretty much everything that we need to know. So a boolean that will help us know if the weapon can scope or not. So that will help us make other weapons that will have a scope thing, you know. We will have a scope precision, so this will be the value that will multiply our current precision value. So this way the precision of our weapons go from 0.3 to 0.1. Near the 0 we are, better it is. And we, of course, we will have the scope sensitivity that will help us remove some scope scoping velocity when we you know, travel with our mouse on our screen. So yeah, let's start by implementing the can scope thing. So if we head to our weapon and we go to our execute command in here, you can see that we have the aiming boolean that we don't use till this day. And now, in order to use it, we will simply check if we are reloading. If we are not, we can shoot or scope, and this means that if the weapon can scope, we'll check if we are scoping or not. So this way we need to add the scoping variable in here. And the scoping variable will be simply a little variable that will help us know if we are scoping on or not with our weapon in here. And here we will just simply change it based on if yes or not we are scoping, of course. And the precision of the weapon, so here, that we will have, we will now no more use the precision of our weapon in order to shoot. We will use another variable that will be dynamic on our project. So let's first add the related variables to it. So like I said, now we have the precision in here that we changed. So we need to assign it simply by saying that the weapon stat dot precision is equal to the precision at first, at when we have this weapon here. And now we will no more use the weapon dot precision. We now will use the simple precision dynamic variable that we change in here based on the weapon stat and the precision that we have. So the weapon stat precision in here. And let's have to here the sensitivity. So let's start here by making this happen. So we have an aiming function in here. And this aiming function will be here just after the fire function, and it will be pretty simple. So if we have the control over the entity, that means that we are the client. We'll simply here show a scope layout and remove the rendering of our weapon in order to be sure that we show only what we need. Then we will, based on the aim a boolean here, we'll change the player mouse sensitivity based simply on the aiming thing. So yeah, here we are determining the field of view without any constant of our weapons stats, but we can add a field of view value when we are scoping. So this way we are sure that we are using it correctly. So let's here add the mouse sensitivity in the player controller. And in order to do that, let's go to the player controller in here. Let's go to the top of it, and here we have the mouse sensitivity. Let's add here a variable that will simply change it. And do we use it? Yes, we use it in here. So everything is done for this part. Now let's come back to the weapon in which we have been, and let's simply go add the player controller to the list of things that we have in here. So player controller, like so, and let's assign it like the player motor here. Weapon.get component player controller, like so. Very good. So now we need to assign the scope sensitivity and the base sensitivity, and in order to do that, we will simply go to the init function, and here we will simply assign the base sensitivity based on the current mouse sensitivity of our player, and the other one will be simply the base sensitivity multiplied by the scope sensitivity. So yeah, pretty much it. And now we need to add this little function to the scope show and etc. Of course, the layout can be changed based on the weapon stat, as always, like I said. So yeah, there is many things that we can add, but in this episode that we are only doing the sniper that can scope. So we will not add all of this flexibility to our code. So now let's go to the game GUI controller, and let's here add a little thing like the scope object that will simply help us know what happened on our screen. But before that, we will make a little fix in here. We will simply hide everything that we don't want to show when we are hiding the interface. But in the other way, if we are showing the interface, we don't automatically to show it. For example, the bomb bar and the bomb planted sign, and of course the scope if we die, so we cannot no more input to the client that we want to hide it. So we will hide it automatically in here. And of course we want a function that will simply show and hide the scope thing. So yeah, I'm pretty good with that. Let's head to the weapon to be sure that everything is okay. Yes, everything is okay. Let's go to the canvas now, and let's add this little thing in the canvas. So in here we will want to have a scope layout, which we will add to the UI elements that we have, let's say in here. So sorry for that. Do we have yeah, I think we can add it. No, show yeah, I did add it just now. So yeah, we want to add it, and we want this to be a sprite, of course. And here what we want in the canvas, we want simply to have a object that will be image in here that we will name scope, and this scope will simply take all of our space screen, like so. And I don't think we want to rescale it with size, pretty much, I don't know, but you know, we will assign it in here, and now we have a scope for a sniper. Yeah, I think we can adjust it with less or more creativity, I would say. So if we put 2 in here, maybe not 1.5, let's say. Oh yeah, pretty much, it's I think it's good here. So we have a scope and we can disable it like so, and we can assign it to simply here our little scope thing like so. And yeah, I'm pretty much happy with that. Now what we need is pretty simple. We need a sniper rifle. So let me give me some minutes to create the sniper rifle, and it's drop. So now let's create the sniper, prefab. So yeah, let me just check on my other project what are the things that we need to give to the sniper. So yeah, here let's say that the scope is precision 0. So this way we are sure that we are so freaking precise, we can scope with it. So in here we have the simple trail, we have the decoy, the simple one, we have the impact, and we have the sniper. No, we have the drop, that is the following one. Yeah, pretty much it. Let's say that the max range is 60, the damage output is 80, the RPM is pretty fast, I assume, because we have only one ammo per, per magazine, and we have 12 magazines. And let me see, we need the name sniper, pretty good. And now we need only the sniper to be here. Let's rename it, let's name it sniper like so. Let's assign the sniper weapon stat. Let's deactivate this one, and let's remove this and this. Oh, pretty good. I think we are done. I think now we can build the game and see how all of this goes together. Of course, we're gonna head to our classes and change the here the we will at first add the weapon sniper in it, and let's add the sniper rifle here. So yeah, let's build the game and compile everything, and let's we will see in the. So now, as we spawn with the sniper, we can see that if we right click, the FOV changes, the precision is changed in order to be sure that we always hit where we are simply shooting. You can see that when we don't are scoping, the weapon is shooting anywhere. So yeah, this is pretty much it that I wanted to show you. And yeah, so this is the end of our episode. Now we have more weapons in our game. We can do whatever we want. For example, if we now want to do I don't know, weapon that shoots grenade, we will simply need to create a grenade script that will simply bounce like a flash grenade, for example, and on the third bounce it explodes, for example. So yeah, this is pretty much it that I wanted to show you in this episode. Next episode we will do the shop of the game. So for the next episode, be sure to have several weapons that you will have in your game. I will create mine, so you could see the list, the complete list in the video. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Remember to code every day. Help us by following us on the social media that we have. You can check the description for it. And yeah, bye. Vandalhalla? What's that? It's a game in development by Sandstorm game studio, a young indie game studio which want to start their journey with an online fast FPS game. Vandalhalla will be fast-paced and easy to learn how to master a game. In this game, your equipment will be based on 4 weapons or skills, chosen freely. We call them abilities. They compose your loadout. From rocket launchers to grapplings, including toy guns filled with holy water, your choice is vast. Choices you will make will influence drastically your playstyle. In fact, our game balance is based on an ancient game that is 1000 years old, the famous rock, paper, scissors. Basically, when you are fighting, there will be situations in which you will have facilities to kill some loadout, but your opponents plays the same game as you and they could have bonus damage against you as well. Right now you have 40 different abilities in order to create chaos in your game. Among these 90,000 combinations, I'm sure you will find the one you like. You will be also equipped with a gravity gun, which will allow you to move around the entire map without any difficulty. Your choice of loadout will also change the behavior of your gravity gun. So now, if you want to be the horse and the horseman, you can. But if you prefer to be Neo from Matrix, with a jetpack it's possible. To have fun with all these features, nothing could be simpler than a huge city in which zones will be designated to organize a zone capture game and at the same time a team deathmatch. Go ahead and vandalize this city, after all you're participating to Vandalhalla, the Vandals Paradise! If you want to help us and see the project evolve and get released, follow us on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter.